So one thing that I've definitely took took notice of when I started doing this, when I went into my own authority, um, is they micromanage the hell out of you, man. And I've been a company driver. I even worked for independent guy. He had another truck. I ran for him, and so I've never been micromanaged as much as I am now with this. And this is something that um, I haven't heard, and I check on a lot of uh, YouTube trucking videos, trying to stay informed. And that's one thing I did not hear, is that they are going to micromanage you. And of course, by they, I'm talking about the broker. Now, it doesn't feel good on the receiving end, but when you think about the situation, I mean, if I had a guy that I've never met, okay, and you're running a load for me, or if I have met you, I'm gonna be checking on you periodically to make sure you get my customer stuff to their dock. So I understand, but it's for me, it's kind of frustrating, because I know my abilities. I know I'm not a slouch. I know that I'm going to be very prompt in keeping people abreast as to my whereabouts and their load and everything. But they don't know me from Adam, so it's to be expected. But that's a little bit of tidbit information that I have definitely taken notice of. That when you're doing this, expect to have some phone calls. I've been on this load, for example, and from the time before I picked it up to the time I got it until the time that I got on this first stop, they have called me 5 times. 5 times. I do feel that's a bit excessive, especially when I'm communicating back and forth with the lead broker who brokered the load to me via email. So I guess the communication breaks down there, that he's not passing the buck or pushing buttons to let the rest of his colleagues know, hey man, this guy is okay. So I got a call prior to picking it up. Hey man, we want to make sure that you're okay with the on-time pickup. I got a call when I got there. Actually, 2 calls when I got there and 2 calls when I left. So I'm not gonna throw any brokerages under the bus, man, and call out any names. Matter of fact, oh yeah, I know who it is, but I'm not about to throw them under the bus, man. I run plenty of their lows, and they've been alright to me. But yeah, that's something you deal with. And one thing, man, people up top, right? In my travels, and I'm from up top. I'm from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And one thing that I've noticed is that not even Cleveland, Ohio, but like New York, Jersey, PA, I mean, man, they talk at you. And probably Connecticut, Boston, they talk at you. You try to go in there, oh, hey, sir, I'm here, delivering your load, back door, where I need to do, open the door, want me to drive. Yeah, just take it around back and then drop it, and then come on back in the front, get your paperwork, get out of here. Like, whoa, I'm trying to, leave the streets, and that's not even leaving the street, that's just outright, you're talking at me. And I wasn't feeling that, so I try to be professional, man, as much as I can. I mean, I got tattoos all over, I got gold teeth, but I still, know how to conduct myself, man. I go in, hey, how you doing? I'm here delivering a load. Just get it done. You know what I mean? And if I'm being, you know, with a positive attitude, or just at least, you know, even tempered, and you come in with this aggression, and I don't even know if they realize they do it. But my point in all this is to say that brokers, I find that a lot of them seem like that's where they're from, and they're not. It's just they seem to have a very low tolerance for anything other than, do you want this load or not? I've been hung up on. I've been disrespected. You know, to the point that if I wasn't a man and intact with my manhood, man, I'll be in my feelings. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm making money. I'm paid handsomely, and hey, I'm not about to complain about the shenanigans. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, but be prepared for that. To be talked at, and to be handled some kind of way. You know, rushed. I mean, that's just what it is. It's like, you know, do you want this? Okay, this load pickup this time is this weight. You run it at this temperature. This is the pickup time. This is the delivery time. You know, all right, the rate is 1,400. Let you say, yeah, I like to be at about 16. You might get hung up on. You might get hung up on. Real talk. And don't call back. Don't call back thinking you had a disconnection. You ain't had no disconnection. The disconnection was you got hung up on, for real. All right, so they micromanage you. There's some attitude behind it, you know. And I'm not, you know, this negative Nancy, Debbie Downer kind of dude, man. Hey, don't get this twisted. The game is not easy. You know what I'm saying? The game ain't easy, but it's fair. You know, because at the end of the day, you getting that bread. Now, I wanna talk on this ELD job while we on the topic of money. Man, you know, I really feel like I'm starting to feel like this is not so much about safety as it is about keeping the trucking game the golden handcuffs. And what I mean by that is, you know, you get paid to do this, and it's not too many things you can do with what, 90 days. You can get fast tracked out of a truck school faster than that, probably. What about the school I went to years ago was like, you pay like $2,000 and they rushed you out of there in like 30 days or something like that. And this is the only career that you can get into, that you can get out of school and start off making probably 40, 50. I know Warner back then was paying, you know, pretty good for rookies. And with little to no education, man, or so-called formal education. I mean, you just take you know, go to truck school. And I'm not saying it's easy, man, and trucking ain't for everybody. I think that what you need to really learn is how to be alone if you haven't been alone, how to drive for long periods of time if you are not used to that, how to be a defensive driver, and how to manage your time. That's really the learning part. I mean, obviously the truck and all that, how to maneuver, obviously the truck parts that you need to know, pre-trip, and know what to look for and stuff like that. But I think a bigger part of it, outside of catching gears, is your durability, man, your fortitude. And but this is the only thing, the career that I know of that you can get out and start making more at some point in time, man. I mean, 2 years into this, don't let me get the line, but yeah, 2 years of driving, I started making 6 figures after 2 years. And that's no lie, man. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you what God love. That's no lie. After 2 years, I started making 6 figures. And that wasn't even with my own authority, okay? So that's real. That's real. I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of these doctors who go to school for years don't make six figures. You may think it because they got the nice car, they have a nice home, but a lot of them only making about 75, 80,000 a year, and they just have strong credit game. I have a cousin who's been a computer engineer for the government, and he's been doing this for years. And I talked with him 2 years ago, and mind you, 2 years ago he had been doing it for 5-6 years, and he's making $80,000 before taxes. A computer engineer, bruh. He spent long hours in those books and in those classrooms for $80,000 after being in that game for 5 years. Now, I have to give it to him. Some people, I was gonna say most, some people place more value on if you are a doctor or if you are a computer engineer or a rocket scientist. They're gonna put more value on that because they feel like you did it with this up here. You use your noodle to accomplish your goals. No mind that the dirty fingernail truck driver is making more than that, 6 figures or better if I go get more trucks. Never mind that. You're just a steering wheel holder. But most people put more about a value. So I'm not gonna knock that because it's subjective. I have wanted to, go back to school and expound upon my education. But I chose not to at this time. Maybe here in the near future, possibly. But then you have your other people out here who are like, it's about the money. Look at the situation with Beyonce. And I remember Beyonce, around the time she did the Super Bowl halftime show, Wendy Williams had basically wrote her hard on a letter that she wrote to the president at the time, Barack Obama, basically getting on her about her errors, her grammatical errors, if I'm saying that right, her errors that she made, and basically saying like, you need to go back to school. You got all this money, you need to go back to school. And I think Beyonce did end up going back to school, but the point that I'm trying to make is Beyonce hit her with this. Next time you go to Pepsi, to your grocery store, and you see my sign, you stay thinking about me. And again, I'm paraphrasing. This is not verbatim. But she pretty much told her, what you make, I wipe my ass with that. So again, you have education versus the money, and I feel that most people would like to have the money over the education, but truly you need a little bit of both. You don't want to just be all money or so-called street smart, but you ain't got no book sense. So you don't want to just be all about the money, but you ain't got nothing. You don't know how to manage your money, because a fool and his money will soon part. You don't want to be like that. Because there's a lot of people out here that will rape you, okay, and with no spittle or Vaseline. Understand what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, this trucking game can be very rewarding, but there are some things you're going to deal with. You're going to deal with the brokers. I've been in it a little over 30 days, and I still have not got to the point where I got a couple brokers that call me, but not enough to keep me busy. I still got to get on the board and do what I do. And it's not a day that goes by that I'm not on the phone doing this thing here with the brokers, and I'm not catching that attitude, man. And it's like, man, you know, it can be very taxing. So, you know, it is what it is. So you're going to deal with the attitude. You're going to deal with being micromanaged, but you will get your money. You will get your money. You will get your money. This load, for example, I picked up in South Carolina, and they had a couple stop paid me $4,800, and I'm about to press for more because they switched the time up. So I look for any reason to ask for some more money. Better believe it. But yeah, I'm probably all over the place, man. You know, on some tangent. But the ELD, I think, is stopping drivers from getting money, man. I really think it is stopping. It ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes about that. That is for sure. Yeah, it ain't no ifs, ands, or asses about that, man. You know, that's just what it is. You know, and I feel like, you know, how it does it, obviously, you know, if you go, let's say you got a load, it picks up today, 12 o'clock. All right, you got your 10 hours in, you go pick the load up at 12. Okay. Let's say it drives, the load goes 5 hours, you know, 300 miles, you know, 250 miles, something like that. All right, 5-hour drive, 300 miles or so, and you get there. It's now, let's say 5, 6 o'clock, and your next load that you just gotta have this load, you know, picks up, you know, let's say, okay, listen, I don't even feel like thinking. The bottom line is, you're gonna have loads that you can't fit a 10-hour break in. I mean, that I ain't gotta go through any kind of analogies and stories. Like I said, man, I don't feel like doing all the damn thinking right now. But there are times, a lot of times, especially like, you know, you gotta load it, they're tight, you know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of times that you don't have the time to put in a 10-minute break. I mean, a 10-hour break. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. And last I checked, the older you get, the less sleep you need. Now I know I'm carrying, you know, these bags I'm carrying is enough to carry about 5 people's luggage. Okay, but I mean, hell, you know, they're money bags. I mean, I'm staying on the grind, man. You know, keeping some balance with exercise and diet, but I mean, it is what it is. So, but there are a lot of times that you don't have the time to take a, you know what I mean? I only need maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep. When I'm at home, I don't sleep long at all, man. I go to sleep at midnight and get up before God. I'm getting up, you know, when the light is on outside, I'm up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I'm rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I don't want to just lay down in bed, man. I sleep when I'm dead, you know? So there are a lot of times, man, that you like that, and it's like, damn, you know? Like, so man, I hope they change that rule, like with these, like the ELD thing, and making sure, like, you know, and then like it as soon as you start driving, it's clocking you. Like, it just, man, that ELD mess. And then I think another part of it is big fish eat little fish. So you got your big companies out here that's basically, you know, trying to press the thumb down on the little guys, you know, because if you running paper log and you're responsible, you could drop a load at midnight You know what I'm saying? Here I go with that. But you can drop a load at midnight and you're slow and you out of hours and you supposed to take your 10-hour break, but your next load pick up at 8 in the morning and it's an hour away. So that means you got from midnight, 8 hours to 8 in the morning to drive an hour and be at this receipt. So you really only can get, if you really responsible, you gonna sleep for about 6 hours, get up and start heading over there with 2-hour cushion. 6 hours sleep. I mean, listen, man, be responsible. Don't go out your truck. You understand me? I don't know where they do this at. You know, trying to knock off lot lizards. I mean, I don't know who doing that. I don't know who doing that. But you may be messing with a chick in the like, stay out the truck stop, man, on there trying to knock off bras and stuff like that there, man. I mean, just go to sleep. Take your ass to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Get your 6 hours of sleep. Get up and go. You know what I mean? And so because big companies are big companies and they, you know, all the way legal, then they can't compete with all of the little guys who like boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? Picking up and keep running, man. Because I know there's some guys out there that probably need less than that. 2 hours. I'm up. Cause I know I ain't the only one that money make me come. Alright? Money make me come. In more ways than one. You understand me? And you know, it's like a kid at Christmas every day. I mean, for the most part. You couldn't sleep Christmas Eve, right or wrong. You remember that? If you grew up like that, or maybe on your birthday, and you knew a gift was coming your way, or you was just anticipating something, you know, dude, let you hit the lottery. Let me give you this feeling. Let you hit the lottery. And you know that check, that Mega Million check, or that Powerball check waiting on you in the morning, come down and sign them papers. I ain't sleeping. No, sir. I ain't sleep. I want that just now. All right. So when I got lined up 4,800, I got 14. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my sleep. I'm not as giddy. I'm over exaggerating about the Powerball and all that. But catch the feeling, man. It's like I'm out here grinding. I'm trying to get back home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get this money and get back home. You know, so I go home, sleep. It's business, man. Let's keep it moving. I'm not trying to be sitting around. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this, because when I'm sitting around, I need to occupy my time after I'm done handling business, man. So, you know, that's just, I feel like that's really the reason why they kick this ELD stuff, man, out here, because, you know, you got a lot of big wigs that's like just trying to level the playing field, man. And they ain't really trying to level it. They just trying to take over, basically. You know what I'm saying? They basically trying to take over, man. They basically trying to take over. So, you know, they say, man, the game is shrewd, man. The game is shrewd, and I think that, you know, they're cutting your money, because if you really run that ELD system right, you're gonna miss at least a load. If you run hard, you're gonna miss at least a load a week, at least, and that could be shit. Depending on what you got, it could be $2,000-$3,000. It could be $2,000-$3,000. You know what I'm saying? You know, it could be that could mean $2,000 or $3,000 a week that you're basically getting cut. And again, then you have the golden handcuff thing, man, because, you know, it take money to make money in most situations. And if you can't be out here and be productive and make enough bread to catapult you to another endeavor or something bigger and better, then you stuck doing what you doing. You can't get out. Like, it's like being on Section 8 food stamps or getting you a certified check. A lot of times, you know, they stay getting those checks because they're mentally lazy, like, or they just have a fear. They become complacent. And they just don't have, they feel they don't have any way out. And the same thing with trucking. It's like, you'll find a guy doing it, not just, it's one thing to do this because you want to, it's another to do it because you have to. And some of these guys, I feel a lot of them are doing it because they have to. not because they want to. You know, I'm kind of in the middle, like, you know what I'm saying. I'm still green, like I only got 5 or 6 years in this, so I'm still kind of like in the middle, like. But if you gave me the opportunity to say, make this same bread and be on the beach right now instead of in the back of a truck, sleeping on a prison mat, yeah. I think I'll take my odds, laid up, okay, in Bora Bora somewhere versus in the back of a truck talking to y'all. No disrespect. Talking to a electronical device. No disrespect. So, I mean, it's facts. It's hard facts. It's hard facts. So, you know, man. Hey, man, I'm on a rant right now, huh? 25 minutes. I'm on a rant. But I don't know what I'm gonna label this. I guess this mixed information, man. Just a lot of just a rant. It's just a rant. Owner operator rant. You know, but it's the golden handcuffs, and that's a way to keep you trapped. So it's like the main thing that I could say, if you knew and coming into this, is live well, be below your means. So that way, now if you just complacent and you want to die in the back of this truck or die holding the steering wheel, hey man, hey, by all means, ball out, do what you want to do. But if you trying to elevate yourself and your family and your business, you know, you gotta be responsible. And the way they keep the thumb pressed down on you so tight, man, you gotta really think your way out of the matrix. You know what I mean? And the only way that I see that you're gonna be able to do that is it take money to make money. You're gonna have to utilize what you're making. If you're making $5,000 take home a week, you need to utilize that and see how you can turn that into something else. You know, because as we should know, most people who have this kind of mind have studied the Procter & Gamble's. They've studied Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, to where, you know, thought dynamics and understanding that you have to be able to live, and you have to have multiple lines of income. It's like a common denominator amongst all wealthy men and women. All wealthy people, they have multiple lines of income. And so, you know, in this day and age, man, I'm not even on like social media. I'm just not into that outside of this. I don't know, man. I think it's just a show off thing. If you utilize it for my business, I do it for that, but not just so you can see I bought a pair of Jordans. Like, you know, and it's like people's priorities are so messed up, man. It's like, you know, we can't take the trucking game and move ahead because we take that $5,000-$6,000 check and we go to the strip club or we go to the club or the bar and we balling out of money. You know what I'm saying? Is what you're gonna end up doing. So, you know, if you live below your means, you create yourself a little cushion, because if you can't make more money, you have to save money. And you create a little cushion when you got some extra income, then you start thinking about, well, what can I do with this extra income to gain more money? How can I make, you know, turn this 500 into 1,000 on the legal side? And so that's where I'm at with it, because it's the golden handcuffs, and although I love gold, I don't like to be tied down to anything, and I have to find my way out, man. You know, I have children, I have a family, I have responsibilities, so I can't just let go of trucking because it's all I have outside of my other business. But until things in other areas start to build to the point where I feel comfortable enough to step out of trucking, or at least leave out of truck, hold the steering wheel and get somebody else to do that, this is where I'm at. So, but hey, these are all the things that you will deal with. If you just in this just to ball out and buy a pair of Jordans every week, hey man, good luck to you. You must be young-minded individual with nothing. Because even if you ain't got no family, man, you still have yourself. Without the wife and the kids, you still have yourself, and you need to be able to manage yourself. So, look here, man. This is what you're gonna deal with. The broker BS. You're gonna deal with all the things that you would deal with in life. You're gonna deal with it, and then some when you're dealing with these brokers. Times change up, rearrange, things happen. You have to learn to adjust. And if you're looking for your life to get a little better, then try to keep your mind focused on better. Because as a man thinketh, so shall he be, and that is true. That is true. You will think yourself into your reality. I can't say that enough. That is true. I threw out some names: Earl Nightingale, Andrew Carnegie, Procter and Gamble, Bob Proctor of Procter and Gamble, Napoleon Hill with Think and Grow Rich. That book. These are the kind of things that is scientifically proven, and I can attest to that. I thought myself into this. I didn't just wake up and say, I'm about to just go buy a pair of Jordans today, and I think I'm gonna go to the mall and ball out. No, I said, I want to have nice things in my life, and how am I going to do that? Okay, trucking. And when I got in trucking, I said, you know what? I want more money. I feel I've learned enough about the truck. So I want to get my own truck. I want to get my own trailer. Okay? I want to do this. I want to do that. It's like rubbing that genie, that the thought dynamics, rubbing that genie and bringing things into fruition. It's all about the mental transmutation, which is on some other level is the esoteric side of alchemy. Alchemy on the exoteric side was basically turning base metals into gold. But on the esoteric side, alchemy was all about mental transmutation. And then not so much in manipulating others into doing your bidding and doing what you so will, but willing your own self into your own reality. Because man's perception is his reality. And if you perceive a certain reality, you are destined to become what you think. You are destined to become what you think. I think there's a guy named Les Brown that said, shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you still land amongst the stars. Think about that. Till next time. Peace.